community in 10 years. The new glut of black-oriented films.
Living just enough.
We will own the city.
Just for the city. Living just enough.
This is Detective Nick Peretti, big crazy jarhead motorcycle freak reject cop just like you, Scotty.
Money, 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 just enough for the city I'm leaving.
It is a war out there.
Just for the city I'm
Gone are the days of selling on the street corners, dark alleyways, and the back rooms of some bummy-ass bar. We ain't with that no more.
just enough for the city.
It's always business, never personal.
For the city. Do things,
We gotta look out for one another.
things, bad things with that. Do things, bad things with that. Almighty
Am I my brother's keeper? Am I my brother's keeper?
Almighty dollar.
Yes, I am.
This ain't business. This is personal. This is big business. This is the American way.
If not a glut, a new diversity of images coming from African-American directors. With the mega success of violence-oriented films like New Jack City and the failure of films like The Five Heartbeats, a warning flag has arisen regarding the new surge of black filmmaking.
The marketing wasn't as effective as it could have been. They were kind of nervous on one hand because you have a film about the 60s dealing with the realities of what happened to the singing groups in the 60s. So it was a history lesson, but then it was the music. They were afraid that the music wouldn't hit the kids because the kids are into hip hop now. And then they weren't sure that the generation from that day would really support the film. So the campaign was kind of muddled because it was like not for the kids, and then it wasn't totally like, well, I want to see that movie because that's my era. So I think that happened, and then sometimes violence in a weird way makes a film more popular because people say, I want to see the movie where the brother got shot at, you know. So it's like, let's go to the shot movie, you know. And so at that point, there's more people in droves going to the movie, and it's weird because even though the publicity was negative on New Jack and negative on Boys in the Hood, they're the highest grossing films of all time right now for minority filmmakers.
Violence overall in movies, I think is used to draw more people, because if there's no violence, then a lot of people possibly won't go see the movies.
With the new trend in full effect, the marketing department of Columbia Pictures knew how to advertise their hot new property, Boys in the Hood.
5 minutes away from your nice, safe neighborhood, there's a war going on. And the news isn't covering it.
Either they don't know, don't show, or don't care about what's going on in the hood.
Boys in the Hood.
An environment that is violent being portrayed on the screen. Does that create violence in the theater?
Well, sometimes I'm scared, depending on what movie there is. And I just hope for the best, you know, like nothing to get started. You can tell by the crowd of people that's coming in, you know, if anything, the type of people.
Doughboy sees Trey as kind of a person that's getting beat. You know, he works at the Fox Hill Mall. You know, I sit on the porch and make three times as much money as he making a whole week in one day. So I'm looking at him like, you know, the system is beating him, you know. He's not getting paid, you know. But me, it's actually me the one who's getting beat by the system, you know what I mean? Because I'm not out there being productive. I'm sitting on the porch selling crack to my neighbors.
I don't think that it betrayed black people, because I mean black people do live some like that, and some people don't live like that. I mean they shouldn't always have black people like that.
I wanted to do something about a man, right? A black man that takes his child, his male child, and teaches him the foundations of what it is to be a man. And then to take it further, show how this boy comes into manhood and learns how to make decisions on his own. And then finally makes a break away from his father.
Driver, put your hands on the steering wheel.
Got any drugs or weapons on you?
No. I didn't do nothing.
You think you tough? You think you tough, huh? You're scared now, huh? I like that. That's why I took this job. I hate little motherfucker like you. Little niggas, you ain't shit. Think you're tough, huh? Blow your head off with this Smith & Wesson and you couldn't do shit. How you feel now? What set you from? Look like one of them Crenshaw Mafia motherfuckers. No, you probably one of them rolling 60s, huh? Huh?
12 Adam 63, we have a possible 187 in Blue VW at corner of Florence and Vermont. Again, a possible 187 in Blue VW at corner of Florence and Vermont.
Stay out of trouble. You gentlemen have a nice evening, man.
I know I make films, and I know what the reason's for. And it's not just to be controversial. I think that I choose my topics, the stuff that I'm interested in, the stuff that means a lot. And sometimes those topics are controversial, but I don't just go into saying my next film is going to be controversial, and then I go look for subject matter that's controversial. That's not the way it's done.
Has Flipper told you about his loving wife and daughter?
Yes, yes.
Excuse me.
You think I don't understand about the white woman committing black adultery, but I do.
Now, Daddy, no sermons, please.
As for the black man, like my own son Flipper, who ought to know better, got a loving wife and daughter, still got to fish in the white man's cesspool, I have nothing but contempt. Excuse me. I don't eat with whoremongers.
I think a certain amount of action is warranted. Action sells. However, I think it can be overdone. The violence that has recently occurred inside the theaters, I don't think has been caused by the movie itself at all. I think the media that has advertised the particular movies has really spurred that violence. And when you have different groups from different sides of town coming together to see a movie that they feel is going to be very action-oriented, it's bound to set off an explosive type of response, and I think that's what we've been seeing.
I think it's really positive that all these films are coming out by minority filmmakers, but then I'm kind of scared too because we could be going right back into the 70s because some of the images I question. Some of the images are stereotypical, and so I'm a little nervous because there's not enough balance right now. They're all coming from the same ghetto theme, and so when there's other themes going around, I'll feel a little bit better. But right now, we could be going back into the 70s where all the films look alike, and so that's why I hope it changes.
My opinion of blacks and the violence that they have now in the new movies, New Jack City and Jungle Fever and Boys in the Hood, I feel that we as black people are not being portrayed in our right frame of mind. We are more or less being portrayed as low, middle-class people with young people being portrayed with the guns and the violence, and I don't believe that is fair for everyone because not all black people are bad.
Marva shares 5 ways to motivate your children to read when Urban Street continues.
R&B music is under new leadership, and that leader is the Mark Williams. Listen on Spotify, Amazon Music, or Apple Music.
Ladies, if you're anything like me, you want the Mark Williams. Between Your Legs. Between Your Legs, the sexiest song on the radio.
Right there between your legs.
You need to add Between Your Legs to your Spotify playlist. You want, no, you need the Mark Williams Between Your Legs tonight. You need to add Between Your Legs to your Spotify playlist right now.